Hello, friends. My name is Peter Swore. I'm the rector here at Trinity Church in Portland. And I just want to tell you a little bit about our capital campaign, Faithful Foundations, Flourishing Future. This past Sunday, just on the 15th of March, we gathered together with about 75 folks in Lincoln Hall, and we started sharing the exciting news about a capital campaign here at Trinity that builds on the faithful, caring work of so many others here at Trinity Church. And in it, we talked about the different dreams and ideas that you, the people of Trinity, have had for our future here. Part of those dreams involve transforming the chapel into a space that's not used just to kind of store things anymore, but a place where we could gather to worship, where children could have formation events. We'd remove the pews, resurface the floors, put in new lights, and get beautiful, comfortable, multi-use chairs that could hold prayer books and hymnals. And suddenly that space could be used for worship, for formation, and for meetings. Similarly, we talked about upgrading our electronics in the church. So instead of having all kinds of wires spread out for our live stream, instead of having cameras on tripods on the floor of the church, we'd install cameras on the wall of the church. We'd have wireless microphones that would be able to pick up the choir and pick up all of the different folks who were speaking in the church. We'd have brand new speakers. And suddenly, all people could hear. Folks online could see what's going on. Instead of 4 or 5 volunteers running our sound system and our video system, just 2 people would need to work on that. And we wouldn't have a warren of different wires, which are quite literally a trip hazard for folks. It would transform our worship life. Similarly, we talked about new flooring and accessibility. New flooring for the entry area that goes down into our lower level for the Trinity daycare. Those stairs are pretty dingy and they're in tough shape. So replacing all of that, replacing flooring in the kitchen, replacing flooring in the entry area, replacing flooring all throughout the lower level where we welcome about 40 different families day in and day out, members of our community who walk in here and see a place that is showing its age. And by investing in that and replacing tiles that are literally starting to crumble, we're able to say that we care. We care about young families. We care about our broader community. And we are committed to children, to family, and to youth. Similarly, we would finally replace the handicap accessible door that's sitting on the Lincoln Street and Coyle Street parking lot entrance. Right now, you push that, nothing happens. And it means folks who have a hard time getting around can't get in easily. We would replace that and make it so the door actually works. We would restore and improve our main worship space. Right now, the carpeting up around the altar is, well, it's kind of puckering up in places, it's stained in places, and it's actually burnt in places. And we would replace that with what looks like hardwood all across the area. Now, we've had 3 different flooring contractors who have reminded us that actually hardwood is not the best way to move forward. They've recommended a composite material that looks just like hardwood but will last longer, will be less slippery, and will be easier to replace if pieces get damaged. So that whole area will be replaced with what looks like beautiful hardwood. Similarly, on the far wall of the church, when I'm standing at the altar looking off to my right, where the live stream table is, in that back wall that you can only see when you're standing at the altar, we would place a columbarium. And a columbarium is a place where folks can have their remains placed. It's sort of like an indoor cemetery where people would be able to be laid to rest. That idea actually came from you all when we were holding dreaming sessions. It was the 3rd most popular idea for a capital campaign project. And so we're talking about moving forward with 24 or 28 little columbarium niches where people could be laid to rest. We also are talking about making a great first impression with the broader community. Right now, our stairs, which go out into Trinity Park and down to Forest Avenue, while we've maintained them, they are crumbling and they don't meet code. The rise is different for each step. And similarly, the landing outside those doors, that landing is not large enough for you to open the doors and still stand on the top landing. So in conjunction with the Trinity Park remodel that's being done completely separately from this capital campaign, we are talking about totally removing those concrete stairs and instead replacing them with straight out stairs. They won't be pointed anymore. They'll just be straight stairs that are made out of granite, and they have crushed gravel underneath. This will also enable us, as we do this, to place drainage on the outside of the church and connect our existing drainage system into the storm drain on Coyle Street. So it will do a lot of things. It'll make the stairs safer, it will make them beautiful, and it will help us with our drainage system. Then there's Lincoln Hall. Lincoln Hall is a wonderful space. It's also hard to heat. And part of that reason is because there's no insulation in Lincoln Hall. It currently is right around R4. And I don't know if you know about insulation, but that's not a good number. You want a higher number, like 40, 35, 45, something like that. So part of our proposal is to actually put insulation all through Lincoln Hall's ceiling and then place drywall up on the wooden beams. And that drywall would hold the insulation between our existing roofing and the drywall. We'd lower our existing fire suppression system just a little bit so we'd meet code, which amazingly is not a particularly expensive proposition. And we would add heat pumps to that room so that we're able to heat and we're able to cool, making that room far more usable year-round and also reducing the carbon impact of that room. Finally, we would also get about 100 new matching chairs. Right now we have a mishmash of chairs. Some of them are falling apart, they don't match, and when we hold large events like Jazz and Jambalaya, we literally run out of chairs. So we would take care of that. Finally, the final part of this campaign is that we would reach out to others. We know that Jesus tells us to love our neighbors as ourselves. And so as we consider spending funds on ourselves, we also know that we are called to use these resources to bless others. So 10% of whatever we raise is going to go out into the broader community through outreach to different organizations that we already are connected to, like Laundry Love, St. Elizabeth's, Project Feed, the school down in Mitiana. You get the idea. If we are already connected to this institution and we're already working in outreach, part of these outreach funds will go out to those programs, showing that we aren't just committed to ourselves, we are committed to the broader community. Now, I want to tell you the entire price tag for this is about $285,000. $285,000. But the great news is 100% of the vestry has already pledged towards this campaign, and another 14 families had earlier conversations with myself and the senior warden, Tim Dunn. And together, between vestry and those individuals, we have already received commitments of over $221,000. We're already 78% of the way to this campaign being completely funded. And if we happen to exceed our campaign, thanks be to God for your generosity, for God's grace and goodness. And what a great opportunity for us then to gather back together and say, okay, what else is God calling us to do at this time, in this place, to be a blessing for this community and for the broader community as well? I am so excited to be walking this path with you, and I invite you to join in this capital campaign. We have an online pledge form. We have all the details that are in this paper that was shared at the capital campaign meeting. I would love to meet with you. I know Tim would love to meet with you. We'd love to tell you more. So if you have questions, reach out and know that I am deeply thankful for what God is doing in our midst. Many blessings. Bye-bye.